Hello, we are the Real Bravado Network, and we examine Black people relationships from an image perspective. Image impacts and influences your life and life experiences. It also determines how you were treated and how serious you will be taken. It can also influence your mobility, up or down. Image is a reputation that you are known for, which includes your behaviors, your character, and your appearance. The Real Bravado Network can't complete these objectives without a forensic examination of the three phases of the live stream: her image, his image, and our collective image. The Real Bravado Network want Black men and women to win with each other. One way of doing that is to protect each other's image, but first, examining what we have done to our collective image. Please support the Real Bravado Network on YouTube by clicking subscribe, hitting the thumbs up button, clicking the bell notification for updates, and leaving a comment in the comment section. Here at the Real Bravado Network, we dare to be bold, not silent.
Let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, let's chop it up, man. Hey, yo, let's have a conversation. Hey, yo, may I interject? It's about time for communal reconnect. Power of the we in some type of context. Working on the us so we can hit up what's next. It's that grown brother, grown sister type of flex. More like soul check, not just collecting checks. Fact, not feelings is what we got on deck. Take the high road, so this here is high tech. Getting to the real, very thing that we hitting on. Pull up or sit down, tell me what you sipping on. Reclaiming kinghood, that is what we getting on. Real headlines is what we spitting on. So, hey now, yo, let's have a conversation. Maybe take a sec to talk on what we facing. Only way to change is to change the situation. How about we break bread now and have a conversation? Hey now, yo, let's have a conversation. Maybe take a sec to talk on what we facing. Only way to change is to change the situation. How about we break bread now and have a conversation? Let's have a conversation. Hey, yeah, let's have a conversation. Have a conversation. Have a conversation.
Today, we champion the black men who've taken the reins of their lives, leading the way in family, finance, and purpose. Their own unique F.F.P. We're here to uplift and to highlight the black men whose personal brands shine, illuminating the best within our community. The essence of our community lies in the power of dependability, of being useful and consistently exuding confidence, intelligence, and assertiveness. That's the man we're here to celebrate. A man who truly embodies a meaningful, accountable nature. A true man. But our praise doesn't stop there. We raise our hats to the black women whose public and private actions beautifully mirror the strength and grace of our black men. Together, they weave the vibrant fabric of our community. Now let's celebrate the mantra that binds us. Dare to be bold, not silent. That's our rallying cry here at the Real Bravado Network. We're all about character, personal growth, and fostering a culture of accountability, all framed by this bold mantra. Our name, Real Bravado, represents our spirit, the essence of being truly bold. And that's our mission for every live stream, every conversation we have. So, let's dive into this journey together. And remember, we're here to be real, to be bold. Let's start this conversation, folks. Welcome, everyone, to our exciting live stream here on RBN, your trusted Real Bravado Network. This is your moment, your space. This is Have the Conversation. And every black man, start your day with 3 words. I'm a king.
You're my wife. So if you outside looking like you looking for somebody else, you're embarrassing. And that's disrespectful. And to the extent your wife maybe could have an opinion on what you're wearing too. Maybe you're looking crazy. Be like, you look like a weirdo. Don't wear that.
You have to be respectful. So you want your spouse to be okay with what you have on because you respect him. Even if it's something that may be a little revealing, I ask him, hey, babe, is this too much? And maybe like, nah, I like that because, you know, it's just him. But it's just the act of being considerate and being respectful, being mindful of how my spouse will feel at this moment in time. Would my spouse be a little uncomfortable with this? Why put my spouse in that situation? I wouldn't want my spouse to make me uncomfortable, you know? So it's really just about being considerate and empathetic and loving and caring towards all you do. Every action from what you say to how you act, present yourself, you know, your brand.
a reflection of your partner.
The Kiki Palmer Defense Squad has mobilized after she was outfit shamed by her boyfriend Darius Jackson on Twitter. Kiki, who recently gave birth to her first child Leo Dis, attended Usher's Las Vegas residency, and a video of her being serenaded by the signer went viral on social media. In the clip, Kiki puts her arms around Usher and plays along with him as he sings. Kiki got dressed up for the occasion, wearing a long sheer black dress with long sleeves and a black bodice underneath. But it seems Darius wasn't too fond of the outfit and, for some reason, decided to publicly tweet and shame her for wearing it. Quote, tweeting a video of Kiki meeting and being serenaded by Usher during one of his residency shows in Las Vegas, Darius wrote, "It's the outfit though. You a mom." People were quick to pull Darius up on his public comments about the mother of his child, labeling him insecure, out of line and embarrassing.
I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can, yo. Can't even get lost, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no host, I got a queen though. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king, I told you guys before, ready for the war, to get me way much more. Gather all this poise, add them to my kingdom. Shout out to my fans for pledging your allegiance. You get a reward, the best flow you've ever heard. I don't be mixing with birds, I'm a lion on the surge. Always pushing to the edge, facing arrows, never scared. For my greatness I'm a servant, only under myself. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy
Before we get started, please do me a favor.
Acknowledge me.
Right on, acknowledge me. That's right. Listen, shout out to Messy Michonne. Messy Michonne is a YouTuber, content creator. She is absolutely hilarious, and she does a faceless channel. You rarely see her up on the screen. Normally, that's not what we do over here, but brother TJ here at the Real Bravado Network is in an undisclosed location, and so therefore I will not be on. But my buddy, Mr. Elemento, is going to be the eye candy for all the ladies. Mr. Elemento, are you with us?
I am here this evening. I don't know how much eye candy you can call this cat, but I will be in the building. Appreciate you having me.
We are intelligent brothers, so that's enough eye candy in my opinion.
Indeed.
All right, so Mr. Elemento, I'm gonna kind of keep you up on the screen, but I'm gonna get rolling in the introduction. We got some stuff today. We're talking about Kiki Palmer, Monet Tejada from what's that the show The Ghost. We're gonna do that. We're gonna talk about Brother Farrakhan gonna drop us some knowledge today. So we got a full packed a lot of stuff today. If you haven't seen the channel, the title today is "Who is Queen Mother?" And the second part of it is the Kiki Palmer syndrome. We're actually gonna get a lot of this into because we'll just get into it. Okay. All right, everybody. Welcome everyone to the Real Bravado Network, your reliable hub for the bold and not silent. And we are a Black issues driven channel over here. We attack Black issues over here. We don't attack the person, we attack the issue, especially those issues that keep Black folk from being together. Okay. My name is TJ and I'm your facilitator for this journey. And this is Have the Conversation. A lot of people don't know the name of the stream. They just know the name of the channel, which is Real Bravado Network, but they don't know the name of the stream, which is Have the Conversation. That's actually the name of our live stream, is Have the Conversation. All right. We exist over here for two purposes. One is to examine Black issues, and 2, to amplify the voices of Black men that are focused on their family, finance, and their purpose. And those men that are and that is at the core of manhood. We celebrate Black men who are dependable, who are useful, who are consistent, and we define manhood as a man who embodies a meaningful, accountable nature. That is what M.A.N stands for. Meaningful, accountable nature. It's a fella who has a meaningful, accountable nature. That's what M.A.N stands for. And he has to be that man who has a meaningful, accountable nature. He has to be confident, intelligent, and assertive. He needs to be all of those things over here, you know? And we're not gonna forget about our ladies, brother. We're not gonna forget about our ladies. We look, we over here, we deal with the issues, and sometimes it's not fun with the when we talk about our ladies, but we love the ladies. And so we're not gonna forget about the Black women who stand with us and whose public and private conduct, which we're gonna talk about today, whose public and private conduct resonates with the best aspects of Black men. And our motto over here on RBN is, we dare to be bold and not silent, okay? The Real Bravado Network is where character, personal development, and accountability is absolute. Let's see what we got going on in the chat over here. Oh, Messy Michelle over here talking about, oh my God, I attacked those people. Let me celebrate that. Come on, I attacked those. They suffer.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, absolutely. So we got Messy Michon is in the building. Kun Lee is in the building. Thank you. Miss Almanize is in the building, and her bestie, Messy Michon. Messy Michon, we're doing over here. I'm doing a Messy Michon type stream, not on purpose though. Not on purpose. I'm not faceless on purpose today. I'm not ashamed of this face, even though my daddy and my mama gave it to me. I should slap them because they could have gave me like a Idris Elba face and body, and then I would have been the whole life wouldn't be so hard for me. So today's going to be faceless, but that's okay. We're going to try it out. But tomorrow, we're actually back tomorrow. We cannot believe this. Real Bravado Network is like streaming 2 days in a row. That is like unprecedented, you know. Tomorrow, we're going to talk about, real quick, we're going to talk about, we're going to get off of Dr. Umar, okay? We're going to get off of Dr. Umar. We're going to get off on him and his perspective that Black men are responsible for the whole community. That's his perspective. And let me tell y'all something. I agree with him. Kinda. Okay? So that's the hook. I agree with Dr. Umar. Kinda. So we're here today. We're going to get right into it. I don't want to be up here long and all day and nothing like that, because I really just want to
sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
That's what I just want to, that's I'm not going to do that today. All right, so let's get into it. Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for joining us. Thank my guest, Mr. Elemento.
Go on, tell him. I love that. Come on now. Go and tell him.
Gonna tell me what?
I love that, man. Come on, anytime you throw New Jack in there, it's about to be some business. Come on.
We got to be some, yeah, it's gonna be some business today. It's gonna be some business today. And for any of those of you who got a problem, we're gonna, especially you Kiki Palmer supporters, let me tell y'all what we ready for over here.
And we want the smoke.
Want the smoke. We are not afraid. We are not afraid. And I can't. Oh, what? Well,
I love it. No, I love it. That energy is serious business. Come on.
Yeah, because we're gonna get into this Queen Mother. Well, we'll get into it just a second. Before we get going, man. Before we get going, right out the gate, the big homie came through. We gotta give some respect to the big homie. Hold on.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Theo with the Do Better podcast came through with the $10 super chats. Thanks, big man. I appreciate you. Appreciate you supporting. Appreciate you dropping by, even even though it's for a moment. I appreciate you supporting. Hey, Theo rounded 50K. Look, Theo, you talked about that you want to drop the knowledge on how you got there, man. I'm gonna hit that Calendly link on you, brother. We gonna talk I'm gonna say in about 2 weeks in the next 2 weeks, man, I got like a 10-day like nonstop stretch at the job. But after that, man, I got a whole month where I'm finna do nothing but stream and get with people that I've been meaning to get with, and I'm gonna relax and recharge, all that good stuff. So I'm gonna get on your calendar because I'm only at 4,200, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to Theo because I want to get the 5K. F that. I want to get the 10K. I want to get the 10K as soon as I can on my subscribers. So we're gonna get there, okay? All right, and so listen, they already over here cutting up. Here
comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Thank you so much, Messy Mashawn, for the $10 super chat matched Theo, and thank you for the support. I appreciate that for coming over here and supporting me. Especially when I do get a lot of like emails and messages, people talking about why don't you stream live more? Why don't you stream live more? Look, I got like real bills, and this YouTube thing ain't paying the bills right now, so I still gotta go. I gotta go on that white man job, punch his clock and do what I need to do to keep things moving around here. So until that day happens, but let me tell you something. After the next 2 weeks, when we round August, my God, I'm going to be home. I'm going to be chilling because I've been working my butt off so I can sit at home for about a month. We gonna hit this Real Bravado Network on this thing real hard. I'm going to collab with a lot of people. I'm going to get rested because I'm tired, all of that. Let me get down to business before I get, I don't want to get too sidetracked over here. Look, the talk over the last 2 weeks have been the implosion of another Black relationship with a Black mother and a Black father. We are out here raging war over the demise of another potential Black family. We over here taking sides, raging war over the demise of a potential Black family. And we got Black women in mass celebrating removing a Black man's child from a home that has had his mother and father in the home. We are celebrating another Black woman wrecking her own home for no reason. We are going on a journey today, and we're going to make an attempt to explain the disease that has ran untreated in the Black community since about 1965. We are talking about a disease that has infected Kiki Palmer. Kiki Palmer has a clear and out of control case of Queen Mother syndrome. Today, we're going to explain what Queen Mother syndrome is and how Kiki Palmer and how the overwhelming majority of Black women have been infected by this disease, and it keeps getting passed down through generation after generation. And we as the Black American culture have let this infectious disease go untreated for over 50 years. Today, we are talking about, and we're going to try to explain, the Queen Mother syndrome. And for those of you today, we're talking about the Kiki Palmer syndrome, which is basically Queen Mother. That's what we're going to do today. Okay? Let me see what's going on in the chat. Salute. Thank you. I appreciate you. Oh, Ron is in the building. Thanks, Ron. Thanks for being in the building. I thank you for doing something that I asked everybody to do at the beginning. Ron Alexander, thank you for...
Acknowledge me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Ron. Thank you, Ron, for that. And oh my goodness, my girl is in the building, and we gotta go ahead and
She needs psychiatric help. Oh my God.
Yeah, Mona D is in the building, y'all. Yeah, hit the like button, get it up for all 10 of y'all that are here. Thank you. Now listen, over the last few decades, there's been a significant transformation in gender roles, mainly, and it's been very infectious throughout Black culture. And the transformation was really due to the women's empowerment movement. And consequently, traditional-minded men often perceive modern women as unsuitable for relationships. Now, traditional men are deeply rooted in a system where the man is primarily the provider and protector of the family, and often finds it difficult to navigate today's modern relationships. So that's why there's a lot of conflict right there, because there's been a shift. There's been a shift in our women's perspective on relationships. So they perceive that their social role through the prism of responsibility. We're talking about men. And at one point, a non-traditional woman with her focus on individualistic pursuits might disrupt harmony with a traditional man, leading to a clash of values, which is what we're seeing here with this Kiki Palmer thing. And I'm not sitting here saying that that Kiki Palmer's the father of his child is some traditional guy, because he's not. But the fact that he perceived, and we'll see it a little bit later on when we get to a clip, we'll see that he perceives Kiki and his child as his family. Okay, hold on a second, y'all. Let me do something real quick.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Can't forget about Kun Lee here with the $10 super chat. Brother, I did not forget you. I did not miss you on it. I was going to get you a little bit later, but yes, I gave a whole lecture on, making sure we try to acknowledge super chats as soon as we can to the people who contribute, because, without the contributions of people, we won't be able to continue to do what we're doing. So I appreciate you. Okay. All right. So non-traditional women, with their emphasis on independence and personal space, often have lifestyle choices that are not in line with somebody that's traditional minded or family minded, which those values are in direct conflict. Okay, this can lead to frequent misunderstandings, fights, arguments. And it's not feasible when you have a traditional and a non-traditional person inside of a relationship. It is not feasible for that relationship to be a long-term lasting relationship. So, and this gets worse when Black women as a whole and in general think that they're better than their Black men, and are more, and that they are more ambitious than their Black men. They have a better moral traits than their Black men. They have better ethics than our Black men. And when Black women think that they are better decision makers, despite all of the evidence proving them wrong, there's constant conflict there. Okay. When our women dismiss Black men's ambitions and efforts, it fosters like a really bad, damaging narrative about their Black men. And the world views men through the eyes of the women. If the women view the men as trash, so will the dominant culture. Case in point, the modern day image of the Black man. It doesn't matter how Black men feel our image are, but the modern day image of the Black man in America is not good. And it's not good because the overwhelming majority of our women do not have a positive image of our Black men. Not only do they not have a positive image of our Black men, but who our women choose to reproduce with also sends the message who they believe is the men of value in our culture. women determine the men of value, believe it or not, to a degree, by electing to reproduce with said man. Women are supposed to pick the best men from the lot that they got to reproduce with. And the vast majority of our women have picked a bunch of duster bunnies to reproduce with. So if our women are out here reproducing with duster bunny dudes, basement dwelling, unemployed, Day Tyrone shooting up the neighborhood, in and out of, all the fuckery type of men, how do you think the world views black men? If you're saying, because when you reproduce with a man, you're telling the world this is the best thing out here, and he's such a great man that he deserves to live on through the ages. That's what you're telling the world when you reproduce with a man. And so many of our women are reproducing with men that are, and then here's the thing. When you reproduce with a low productive value, low character fella, when you reproduce with that fella, and when we talk about culture and society, and you're supposed to reproduce with the best version of a man that you can find, what is the message that you're actually sending to the best versions of the men when you reproduce with the bums, the duster bunnies? What are you saying to the rest of us? Do we have it upside down? Are we really the duster bunnies? Those of us who are productive, those of us who are builders, those of us who have standards, are we the duster bunnies? Are we living like in a twilight zone? Here's a question that I asked the other day to a group of ladies. And we're talking about how black men got it wrong and got it off and stuff like that. And black men don't understand. And I asked the ladies this. I said, let me tell you ladies something. 75% of you ladies are unmarried. So let me explain something to you. Black women, and I will go, black women, when you see a put together black woman, there is not another woman on this planet that is better looking, more sexy, more sensual than a black woman. How do you know that? Because every other group of women on this planet go out of their way to try to look like one. They try to talk like one. They try to walk like one. They want to be shaped like one. They want their skin like one. They do everything in their way to try to physically emulate a black woman. So that's how I know black women are the most desired, physically desired women on the planet, because every other woman goes out of her way to try to emulate her from a physical standpoint. But here's the question I asked the ladies, and I gave them all of that. If the way your mind is working and the decisions that you make and how you operate with your men, if you got the game and gone with it, how come all of those women pick everything up from you but your behavior? That's the question that I asked those ladies. They take everything from you. Your swag, your shape, your color, your fashion sense, your dialect at times. They take all of this stuff, all of what they think is the essence of you. They snatch all of that stuff and try to emulate it in a way, but they don't take your mindset and your behavior. Why is that? And you know what I got in response? And that's when I knew.
Got him!
That's when I knew. So I don't want to hear all of this crap about how our women, what our women think and how they move and all this, when no one else out here is trying to do what you're doing. They just snatching everything else so they can actually snatch your more productive men. That's what they're doing. That's why they're going out there like that, because they understand what your productive man is in this world. So many of our black women claim to outpace black men. Our women claim that they out-earn us. Our women claim that they make better decisions. Our women also claim that they have more to offer in a relationship. these perceptions, they feel this gives them a perceived leverage over their black men and a reason to demand submission from our men. For example, you got a lady with 4 kids, 3 baby daddies. She's still halfway cute, but then she got the nerve to come to you talking about you got to come in and take care of me and all mine because we are a package deal. They come in demanding something. How are you demanding anything when the men that you chose to have those kids with don't even want to be there with you either? And those are his responsibilities. You are part of his family network, not some random dude out here that spent time building himself. How are this attitude that you are providing us, you're doing us a favor by coming in and taking care of your pack of bad decisions. You're doing us a favor. Okay. All right. We'll just kind of let that go right there. The man, so this perceived leverage over black men, and then the reasons, and then these women try to demand submission from their men and disregard, and they go out of their way to disregard her natural role as helpmate. And I don't know why women feel that being a helpmate is somehow a submissive role. Women's role in this culture is so important and it's so vital. And I don't understand why you think being your guy's helpmate is somehow beneath you. But I don't know where that came from. Our women rather attempt to lead than follow. And there's consequences of this mindset. Because if you are insisting on being the leader, that means it puts the man in your life in the wife role, and then the woman that steps into the husband's role. This is exactly what has happened in Black culture. Yet, what has that produced over the last 50 years of Black leadership? What has that taught us? When you talk about our Black women about this dynamic, they predictably reply, Black women had no choice, which is the biggest bold-faced lie ever told. Black women have been saying and hearing that line their whole entire life. They actually believe that there was no other choice but to be aggressive, in control, the head of the house. They absolutely believe that they had no other choice. And that they have no other choice in the way that they behave. And we'll get to that just a second. And because they believe that they have no other choice, they believe that the majority of Black women can make the demand that requires Black men to surrender to them. Hence sending the man to a back seat, and our women prefer it this way. Prefer doing the leading because in her mind, she believes she has the credibility to do so. And instead of viewing Black men as someone they need, they view and treat Black men as the queen of the house, while their so-called money, education, and status makes them king. And any compromise with our women that are less than 50-50 is unacceptable to our women. Our women want you to start negotiations with them with a 50-50 partnership. But here's the dirty little secret about 50-50. It's a myth. Ain't no relationship 50-50. It's impossible for it to be 50-50. But Black women are way more comfortable with their man playing the role of wife and them playing the role of husband. Why do you think Black women pick unproductive men with low character? Why do you think they pick them to have children with? If a man is unproductive, has very low character, He is not the man or the men that we talk about at the beginning of the stream that we over here to support. Why do you think those women pick that kind of man? Because it gives her some kind of perceived power and autonomy over that dude. What can a man who needs his woman for a place to stay, what can he say to a woman about anything that she does? And he requires her for a place to stay, for a meal, for a ride, for some money, for some shoes, for some toothpaste, for some drawers, for some deodorant, to a concert, to a dinner, to a vacation. If he requires that of her, what can that man say to her? Legitimately say to her? Nothing. She's the king of the house. Those women pick those kind of men because they hold power over unproductive men. That man needs her resources. I tell any woman, you meet a guy and you guys in a long-term relationship and you guys discuss probably moving in together. And if that guy doesn't give you pushback about moving into your place, that's something to be alarming. Most productive men do not want to move into another woman's home. Most productive men understand when you move into another woman's home, it doesn't matter what she says. That home is not yours. You don't run nothing. You don't control nothing. And you'll hear the ladies, I let my man be the head of the house. Let me tell you something. In my house, you can't let me do nothing. Whatever, I always tell people this, whatever is allowed can be disallowed. So ladies, if you talking about, oh, well, we're about to move in together and he gonna move in with me and he gonna be like, no, you gotta come over here. If he's like, oh, okay, cool. Let me tell you something. He probably needs to live with you. There's probably something going on and he can't maintain his own stuff, okay? Hold on a second. We got to do some acknowledgement. I cannot believe this, and I'm excited. Here
comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Maggie, the substitute teacher, with a $20 super chat, double matching the other two. Maggie, thank you so much for dropping by. I haven't seen you in a while. You've been flying all over the globe. Maggie been all over Europe, Antarctica, the North Pole. She been everywhere, but ain't been cooking nothing. Been over North Pole sending out pictures on Instagram and stuff like that. Maggie, thank you for the $20 super chat. I wish I was not in an undisclosed location because in the Real Bravado Network studio, I have some Maggie merch right on my table. So Maggie, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate the super chat that you sent my way, showing some brothers some love. All right. Mr. Elemento.
Yes, sir.
You got anything to say before I move on? Anything to disagree with?
No, I love how you have put all these things in a flowing type of motion, right? I love how you kind of started with the gender roles and the major transformation that we're experiencing, right? It really is the what I like to call delicately bending of gender roles, right? You mentioned the modern woman, right? Being unsuitable for relationships these days. I mean, listen, we have to realize that things evolve. And just as our relationships evolve, so do the roles that we play evolve along with them, right? Kiki Palmer is a very hot button subject right now, But listen, when I was looking at this, as I was absorbing all of this media that's happened recently, you got to remember that this woman just had a child, okay, and she is able to go out there looking like that and enjoy herself, and be able to, still be recognized and serenaded in that way, right? I'm just saying, as a person who has children and knowing the difficulties of some women to get back to that size after having a child, it's not an easy feat, right? So for that fact, for her enjoying the fact that she had gotten down to that size as being a mother, that's fantastic, right? The baby's dad getting upset about it, I get it. I get it. However,
hold that thought. We are almost there. Hold that thought, okay?
For sure.
All right. So, what has the last 50 years have taught us about Black female leadership and women being the head of the family? Look at what Black female leadership where it has led us. It has led us to have these open forum conversations in public regarding the state of Black relationships. But back to 50-50. Black women are obsessed with having a partner or a partnership. They're more obsessed with being with 50-50 than they are being a wife. I don't understand for the life of me. Why do you want all of that responsibility? That is a lot of responsibility to be the head of a family. That means you are responsible for for every single life in that home. Why would you want that responsibility?
I mean, is that not what the queen is responsible for already?
No.
The traditional queen, is that not what they are responsible for?
They are not responsible they are not, in my opinion, they are not responsible for the lives. They have the charter to develop it. They are the passer-ons of the culture. They pass on the culture. They pass on the teachings. They pass on what their king has instilled or where he wants. She's the general manager. She's not responsible. If you work for an organization, I work for a hospital, right? The CEO of my hospital is responsible to make sure that there's enough financial resources to make sure that I get my paycheck. The doctor, he's responsible for the physician being paid. He's responsible for the physician having the instruments and the resources that he needs to perform the life-saving things. He is responsible to make sure that there's food in the hospital, not only for the employees, but for more importantly, for every single patient in there. He is responsible for an environmental services crew to come in to make sure that entire place is disinfected, that we don't continue to give secondary infections after someone's in the hospital. He's responsible. Men are responsible for the functionality of the home. The women, they're there to nurture it, to develop it. They're not responsible for it. But our women have taken on the role of both, of trying to nurture and develop and be responsible. Those duties are split. You cannot do them both effectively. You got to pick. Look at the current state of our young men out here. I know we wild out in the 80s and the 90s, but these cats, they're on a whole nother level, bro.
No doubt about it.
How's a 14? I'm in St. Louis. How's a 14-year-old dude walking down the street at 1 o'clock in the morning with an assault rifle at 14? Where's his mama at? Where's his daddy at? She's responsible when she gives a child to a guy that has not earned it. And then she's in there with what can a mother do? Let me tell you something. Any lady listener or will be listening, if you're by yourself, let me tell you something. When your son turns about 13, 14 years old and his male hormones kick in and he starts to grow and develop, let me tell you something. You are no longer able to physically dominate that boy at 13, 14 years old. But guess who is? Come on, Mr. Elemento.
But I question what those lessons entail.
What
right?
do you mean?
So I totally understand where you're coming from, right? Because there are different lessons once you get to that transition point in your life. There are definitely different lessons that you're going to learn from your mother compared to your father. But I don't know how much of that physical, kind of retaliatory nature that you're going to get from your father is always the best answer to problems that you run into in your life.
I'm not saying that the answer to correcting your son is always going to be physical. But Mr. Elemental, me and you we're boys, we know.
Of course.
Every now and then,
of course,
it is required for a father every blue moon between the age of like 12 to like 18. At some point, one or two times along that way, your male child is going to challenge you. It might not be an overt challenge, but it's going to be a challenge. Most men will not allow their sons to steamroll them. Almost every single mother will be steamrolled by their son. There's nothing she can do about it. One mother, and I'm being very general because I know some about it mothers out here. My grandmother was one of them.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about the majority. The vast majority of our women today, they don't have the stomach to attempt to do what needs to be done to remind the boys of where they actually are. I don't care what they think they are. You and I both know for the most part, men, little boys, we all understand two very important things, and they go hand in hand. We understand pain and consequence better than anybody.
No doubt about it. Everything that you did came with one of those two things if you weren't careful, right? And they came very differently if it came from moms or pops.
Right. And so all I'm saying is our women, you're not equipped in general. I'm not talking about the individual because our ladies like to go all or nothing or not everybody or some people, or they got some random exception to the rule. I can care less about none of that stuff. I'm talking about in general. You see it in the streets of Chicago. You're seeing it out in Boston and Philadelphia. You're seeing it in St. Louis. These young boys are running. They have taken over. 14, 15 years old have taken over predominantly black neighborhoods. People can't even go out after 4 o'clock in the evening because these demon seeds are running around here, and the mothers are away at work or they working overnight. They got to work 2 or 3 jobs. They got to work 2 jobs plus drive Ubers and let me ask the question: how are these young boys getting these assault rifles? Where are they keeping them at?
That's the question.
They're keeping them in their homes, and I'm not trying to get off on the political thing. They're keeping them at home. How does mama not know that there's not an assault rifle in that house?
Because mama doesn't believe that there are assault rifles in the neighborhood.
Okay, all right. Let's get back. Kunli, a woman can only function under the aspects of someone. So if they're not under the auspices of a man, Who are they under? Yeah. Cover. The Bible talks about covering. That's what he's talking about. Miss Mona D, they rather have the responsibility than at the child's expense than to have order. And they rather have chaos in their lives. Yeah, I mean, disorder is chaos. That's a drug to a lot of women, believe it or not.
Ooh, that's a poem. Disorder, drugs, sounds like a prescription waiting to happen, turned belt into prescriptions. I mean,
right.
This is kind of where we are now. You know what I mean? We don't necessarily.
So my question to the ladies, it's a question I need to know. Why do you want that responsibility? And let me get to this, Mr. Elemento. No matter how much you want to put sugar on it, a man's wife is not his partner. A wife is a role. A husband is a role. And a husband is responsible for the family, including his wife. There's a lady that I work with. Cute as she want to be. She's been with her guy for 18 and a half years. They're not married, but they got all their kids together. Let me tell you something, Mr. Elemento. I would be happy if the majority of us had that kind of situation. Okay. I'm not even sitting there saying we got to get married. That's a family unit. That man is protecting his woman, overseeing his family. They operate as a family. She's committed to him like a family. The kids only know one thing. The woman, let me tell you something. She's so cold with it. She went and changed her name to his.
Come on. That's how you do. You represent it.
She said, she'll tell you, we under one flag on this house, and that's under him. She goes, but baby, when the queen needs to regulate, I know how to regulate my husband. Most wives do. Wives, for some reason, think not being anything less than a partner is somehow less than. The partnership is less than. Believe it or not, being a partner is actually less than. Why do you want to stand up and be like, oh, I want to be less than? Being a wife is the ultimate thing. I watched my father's parents operate, man. My grandmother was cold with it when she had to move my grandfather around. You know what I mean? To get things done. She was cold with it. She knew how to handle my grandfather. She knew how to get things done. She knew what not to say nothing to.
Of course.
She knew how to operate with that man. Let me tell you something. When I know when my father and his crew, or I'm part of the grandkids, our crew, if we needed something or wanted something out of grandpa and we knew that sucker was gonna say no, guess who we went to try to figure out how to get a yes? Hey, look, grandma, listen. I'm gonna need this is what I'm thinking. I'm gonna have to talk to grandpa because I got to talk to him first. But what is your best way to approach grandpa with this? She'll either tell you what to do or she'll say, keep that to yourself. because who knew her man better than her? Right?
I think you can never deny the closeness of the balance that marriage brings, right? You say partnership. I can see how people look at that, right? Because we were built in pairs, right? To go forward in this life. So I can kind of see that aspect, right? But then when you start talking about balancing who does what and where and whose role goes where, like all of that is 100% interchangeable. It 100% is. I mean, I'm thinking of the fact if you're an inventor, it just goes into something totally different. So they're completely interchangeable.
Yeah. I want to play something real quick, Mr. Elemento.
Please.
Hold on a second. Let me get right here. What am I doing? Okay, I'm like tripping. Hold on a second. All right, hold on a second. To wrap it up, let me just make this point. So the question is, how in the world can you be a partner to someone who how can you be a partner to somebody that you're responsible for? That's the question. I want you to hear what Louis Farrakhan says about it, okay? Because he talks about this.
You cannot protect what you cannot control. Wait now. Sisters, when I use the word control, that makes you upset sometimes because you don't want nobody to control you. But no man can protect what he cannot control. Not control. Wait now. Sisters, when I use the word control, that makes you upset sometimes because you don't want nobody to control you. But no man can protect what he cannot control.
Mr. Elemento.
Yeah. Shout out to the minister. Assalamu alaikum to his followers. I understand where he's coming from, because you have to stand on what you believe in, and what you believe in is tangible. And that is what you can control. You can control what you can put your hands on, because that's real. That's your lineage. That's your village. That's your city. That's your grandchildren, right? You can control that. So of course you will protect that, right? Outside of that, it becomes more than a gray area, right? It's fade to black at that point, right? But I totally understand where he's coming from, as far as you cannot protect what you don't control, right? Because you can't go out and protect the giraffes of Africa and you don't control the savannah.
Yep. Let's hear what the rest of what he got to say about that, because he had more. Hold on.
Now, you don't have to be a control freak, because she has a right to rebel against ignorance that masquerades itself in the form of a controller. I gotta set a balance here. Otherwise, after this lecture's over, some nut is gonna go home and say, see, I got to control what's going on up in here.
Having control doesn't mean that you are controlling. Those are two different things.
Very distinct.
I want to substitute the word control for influence. I'm a negotiator. We can negotiate this. I have to have influence over you. If I say this, we move in this direction, or I say you stay away from over there, or I say this is our route that we go, because one, I've been down that road before, and you go do something different, and it causes harm and disruption to the house, or it causes more headache. What can I do with somebody like that? Every time I look up, and as a man, it doesn't mean that that the entire idea of direction from in your relationship comes exclusively from you. It doesn't mean that. You got to be smart enough to understand when your woman's coming to you with good stuff.
True.
Let me tell you something. So I was listening to somebody the other day, and they said, men have to learn how to operate in two verses with our women. Men are big picture. We can see down the road. Our women see right in front of them. Sometimes men miss what's right in front of them because they're too busy looking down the road. That's our job, is to look down the road. We got to see the traps coming. Our women, they're very good in the details. They're very good in the details. They're very good at the stuff up front. And as a leader, you got to be able to manage both sites, the down the road site and the detail site. A lot of our ladies get in trouble because they can't see down the road. That's why they pick the way they pick.
This is just my personal belief. They don't have to, right? Listen, I understand about evolution. I do. But this is why we're built in pairs. Because this is the balance that we have already built into our DNA, right? You said right there, right? Men are looking down the road, right? We are looking at the prey, if you will, how it moves, how we're going to capture said prey, where women, like you said, are good in the details. They're good in the upfront. this is what's going on right here. I can use these to do this, because this is going to happen eventually. But I don't need to worry about that because you're worried about it. Just like I don't need to worry about what's going on right now because I know you're worried about that. So I can operate at full force 100% because you're taking care of what needs to be done at your 100%.
Here's another question for the ladies out here. Listen, ladies, I understand you won't be partners. You want 50-50, you want us 50-50 and all this other good stuff, but you always claim that you don't want that there's not a that we lack leadership, which is a bunch of crap. Ladies, you want leadership and you want 50-50. I'm telling you, you can't have both because the leader needs a degree of control, a degree of influence. You can't have 50-50 and then you need a leader. Leaders don't lead 50-50. So to Black women, and I think you already answered this question, Black ladies, about how you operate. Which one do you want more? Which one's more important to you? Good leadership or being a 50-50 partner?
That's a rough one, man. Honestly, I think posing that question is a rough one because
that's a question for them.
Yeah, I know.
No, because we're sitting here wanting the answer. So sure. I'm not even going to really comment on that because that's a question for them. What do you want? What do you want? Men, I think by nature, are very giving creatures. We give, we sacrifice, we give. We give our woman anything. I had a lady say to me at the job, come on, TJ, I heard you take care of your woman. But they said it like it was a negative thing.
Of course.
And I go, why wouldn't I want to do that? That sounds, I mean, is that supposed to be a dig? I don't understand what you're saying. I don't know why you're saying that to me. I said, I get it. I said, I get it. You ain't never been taken care of, and you think a man taking care of a woman is him getting fleeced. That's not how that works. You as my woman, I'm responsible for you. My job is to take care of you. What are you talking about? I'm only doing what I'm supposed to do. What are you talking about?
I mean, but those two words together, take care of, or three words together, take care of, is very different, similar to the word love, similar to the word relationship, similar to the word arrangement, right? They all have different definitions depending on the person in said relationship.
You know what I think is wrong with that woman who said that to me? I think she has
emotional damage.
Like, for real. Let's get into who Queen Mother is. But before we get into that, let's play what brought us here, which is KeKe. I know we've been going for an hour. We ain't got to KeKe yet, but let's get into it.
It's been a long time coming, and we done fell apart. I really want to work this out, but I don't think it's gonna change. I do, but you don't. Think it's best we go our separate ways. And tell me why I should stay in this relationship when I'm hurting, baby.
Is there a problem going on with you? Is this a midlife crisis? Is this something that you know, I need to understand what's going on.
Real quick before I notice it. She was singing that Usher song, you know, Let It Burn. She was singing that after all of this stuff blew up. She was singing it to her kid's father. Let It Burn. Let me play that one more time. I want to play that one more time so you guys can understand why she's singing this. This is insane. Let me see.
It's been a long time coming, and we done
The baby is a year old, and she's talking about it's been a long time coming. What's been a long time coming? Because later on in this clip, you sing a very different tune. And we got women out here celebrating this crap, that this woman with her kid's father, that they're splitting up. They're celebrating it all because he had a problem with his woman, his family, the mother of his children out there spreading her booty cheeks on another dude.
been fell apart. I really wanna work this out, but I don't think it's gonna change. I do, but you don't. Think it's best we go our separate ways. And tell me why I should stay in this relationship when I'm hurting, baby.
Is there a problem going on with you? Is this a midlife crisis? Is this something that I need to understand what's going on.
It appears there is trouble brewing in another household. Kiki Palmer's boyfriend is showing that he is not afraid to let his opinion be known, but that opinion is rattling feathers up in Hollywood's food chain. In a series of Twitter posts on Wednesday, July 5th, Darius Jackson called out the Nope actress for wearing a fitted black bodysuit under a sheer dress to watch Usher perform at his Las Vegas residency. We live in a generation where a man of the family doesn't want the wife and mother of his kids to showcase booty cheeks to please others, and he gets told how much of a hater he is. He wrote in one tweet, "This is my family and my representation. I have standards and morals to what I believe. I rest my case," the disgruntled Darius wrote. Jackson's tweet came hours after he quoted a tweeted video of Palmer dancing with the Confession singer 44, alongside the text, "It's the outfit though. You a mom." After receiving mixed replies from his followers, he ended his posts about Kiki's attire by writing in reply to a fan, "Last tweet of the day for sure. That's for the real ones to understand." The couple are parents to 4-month-old son, Leodis Leo Andrelton. While Kiki has yet to publicly respond to Darius's comments, she shared new photos of her concert attire on Instagram Wednesday. "I wish I had taken more pictures, but we were running late," she wrote. "I am telling y'all right now, if you haven't seen at Usher, you must go. He was so fabulous. Giving Theater Atlanta down, tips and tricks, and just absolutely iconic. I was truly inspired as a performer. I whooped some ass in spades too. Where's that pic of us all together with the king himself?" At NoraRad. The actress first opened up about her relationship with Darius during an appearance on the Tamron Hall show in November 2021.
Very much so. Keep it on the Beyonce tip of just keeping everything low key. I think the reality is just.
I'm waiting for a specific part because she says something that I want to hit hard on. So just we're gonna roll through this real quick.
It became more difficult to.
It became more difficult to hide, she said, of choosing to post photos with Jackson at the time. "We spend all this time together, and he really is my closest friend. So it just becomes a thing where I'm not going to hide something that makes me happy. It's not going to be everything you see. My job is my job," Kiki added. "But at the end of the day, this is somebody that's important to me, so why not?" Just a few months before becoming a mom, while hosting Saturday Night Live on December 3rd, Kiki announced the exciting news that she was pregnant with her first child.
I want to set the record straight. I am.
Then, during an appearance on The Tonight Show, she revealed that she and Darius were having a baby boy. The pair kept their relationship fairly private since they were first linked.
Notice the lady said that they kept their relationship private, Mr. Elemental. You hear that?
I'm rocking with it. Let's keep going.
Okay. Private.
In 2021, only stepping out for a handful of events together. But Kiki did tell Bustle she wasn't trying to hide anything. "This is the happiest I've ever felt with someone. So why would I go out of my way to hide this person? That's a lot more work than just living in my life and being in my life."
"This is the happiest I've ever felt with someone. So why would I go out of my way to hide this person? That's a lot more work than just living my life and being in my life. This is the happiest I've ever felt with someone." That was a year ago. "This is the happiest I've ever felt with someone."
That's a pretty clear statement. No matter how you translate that, that's very clear about someone enjoying the space that they're living in.
Yep. So we go there to this.
It's been a long time coming, and we done been fell apart. I really wanna work this out, but I don't think it's gonna change. I do, but you don't. Think it's best we go our separate ways. And
This is the happiest I've been with someone, but now we should go our separate ways. And there's a child in this. we are, you know, I really didn't want to deal with it because I don't deal with, you know, when we deal with issues over here, we don't deal with a lot of pop culture stuff. You know, we just kind of attack our issues with our head down and stay with our own issues and try to and hope for the best with our own, you know what I mean? But good Lord, we got as black folk, we walk around here like we got the game and gone with it. Now, as a man, do I got a problem with a half-naked woman? Absolutely not. Do I got a problem with a sister that's shaped up, rocked up, and I get to see some things every now and again? You know, absolutely not. Do I get disgusted when I'm walking down the street and I see a woman with clothes painted on so tight that I can see every crevice and fold? I absolutely do not, because I'm a man.
Okay.
However, do I want that for me and mine and my reputation? That man, her kid's father, he made a statement, and I wish I would have kept going. You know, I cut the clip short, but he says, I don't want my woman. He said, my woman is a reflection of me. And I don't want the mother of my children sharing her yams all over everywhere with everybody else. And it's not even that. This chick all grinding on another dude and you in a whole relationship. We're not even addressing that part.
I mean, listen, you know who she is, you know what it's about, right? If you want to make those claims and you want to be able to have those conversations, then you should move into those spheres where you can say, okay, this is who you are. These are the roles that I need you to maintain in my life. Otherwise, like you said, then you get titles like baby mama and baby daddy, and then you at a concert acting a whole cheek with your, you know, hanging out. So it really depends on how you're trying to approach the situation. Depends on your relationship as well.
One of the more overwhelming, I should have got some in the comments. The overwhelming comments, they were dragging the dude, talking about if you want to got a say in what she wears, you should marry her. You should put a ring on it. Put a ring on it? There's a baby here. That ship has sailed. But when you are in a committed relationship with somebody, damn it, your word should be bond. If Kiki want to be out here coochie grinding on other men, then she should not be in a whole relationship with somebody. And by the way, she's doing this crap while he's at home taking care of their child.
I mean, she is the one with the name. He is the unknown. He is the baby daddy in this situation.
She picked an unknown for a reason. She stated that I wanted someone who was not in the business.
Hey.
And the guy makes $500,000. So a lot of women were calling him broken dusty because he with Miss Akilah and the Bee. This chick is only worth about $7.5 million. Now look, I ain't got $7 right now. But I'm saying in the big scheme of things, this brother earns $500,000 a year himself, and I think he's in the tech field. He's no slouch as a regular Joe. As a regular old brother, he winning. This brother is winning as a regular old brother with $500,000 a year. He ain't with KeKe for no money. He got money. What can't you get with $500,000 a year? He got a crib. He got all the cars he want. All of the what they call them, the limited edition Jordans and crap. He got all that with $500,000.
Right.
All he wanted was a wholesome woman. KeKe, she ain't like uber fine, but KeKe cute than a motherfucker. She's talented. She's, charismatic. A man don't mind no cute, talented, charismatic woman. You winning. People think that we want our woman to be some housemaid with a rag on in the kitchen on the floor. No, brothers, look, ladies, men like to brag. We might not like to verbally brag, but we brag. Watch the car we drive. It's a flex.
there are status symbols in a man's life
Watch
that
how
he chooses to flaunt. Indeed,
Right. Watch
I'm
how
not
we
going to
dress.
say that a woman is a status symbol like
Yes,
that.
she
The
is.
woman's not an object,
Yes,
you
she
know.
is.
However, there are times, right, when men get into those sausage measuring contests where people are relegated to things, unfortunately.
Mr. Elemento, if I'm dating Kiki Palmer, that is a whole fucking flex.
Oh, 100%. But then
you understand what I'm saying?
that would also make you Mr. Kiki Palmer.
I ain't Mr. Nothing. Look, let me tell you something. I'm dating Kiki Palmer. When I go get my hair cut at the barbershop, guess who for to bring me some meal while waiting on my Kiki Palmer for to walk her ass in there? Because I'm a stunt on all those brothers in there. Yeah, bruh. That's me. We do that. And let me tell you something. There's nothing wrong with it.
I mean, there's hate. There's hate in the shade, but there's angst in there. There's a lot of things in that shade that they hit you with as soon as they see that. Like, oh, who is this cat? You know what I mean, Mr. Kiki himself sitting there. But damn, I sure wish I could. I wish I could. I wonder what. You know.
That's how it worked. But we out here, our ladies are out here celebrating the demise of this family, this potential family, and she bowing to the pressure of the sisterhood who don't give a damn about her, the fact that she was the most happiest with him. They don't give a damn about none of that. But now they want to rah-rah cheer her leaving him and separating that child and that family, because you know where that kid is going. It's going with her. You had the man in the house every day. The kid had the best outcome, 2 parents in the home, had a potentially good relationship, and Kiki lit a match to this shit because she wanted to go grind her dry coochie on Usher. I don't know if it's dry. I'm just saying.
I mean, that to me, that begs the question of what's going on in her life, right? Beyond her just having a baby, to me, this stinks of controversy.
Stop right there. That leads us to our subject topic. What's going on with her? Kiki has been infected with the Queen Mother syndrome. Just because she's famous, that don't mean that she ain't been infected by the Queen Mother syndrome. So the question is, who and what is Queen Mother? Right? Who is Queen Mother? I'm glad you asked. Queen Mother are the Black women that hold all the power in the home, in the community. They're the chief decision makers. They're the chief authority in the family. In short, Queen Mother is the Black woman who is the head of the house. Queen Mother, from a behavior standpoint, can have a combination of the following traits, all or a combination. Queen Mother can be mean, unkind, nasty, irrational, poor decision makers, not willing to accept new information. She lacks accountability. She's unhealthy, physically and emotionally, or both. She's irresponsible. She's selfish. And the most prominent behavior in Queen Mother is that she has an uncompromising nature. Queen Mother cannot be challenged, questioned, or defied. This dynamic is so strong that even those of us who are negatively impacted by Queen Mother's the Queen Mother syndrome, we will defend it and rationalize this syndrome as a cultural norm. We will rationalize it as empowerment. Case study, Kiki Palmer and her man and the women around her. Kiki Palmer has a man. I don't care if it's not her husband. She was in a committed relationship with him. By her own words, the happiest she's ever been with anyone. She decided that this great good man deserved to have a baby. She gave him a baby. And then what did Kiki do? She made a poor decision. She was irrational. She lacked accountability. She was irresponsible. That grinding was selfish. Her response to him saying this is out of order, she was uncompromising. She also was not willing to accept new information, which means she lacked accountability. So Queen Mother, from a behavior standpoint, has a combination of the following traits. Remember those traits I just left? I named off a whole slew of traits. Kiki has about 5 of them. And then the black woman that came to her rescue, Queen Mother cannot be challenged or questioned or defied. How dare he say he don't want his woman throwing her coochie on another man? How dare he say that? He's such a lame. He's a lame. He's a dusty. He only makes $500,000 a year. He broke and a dusty. Look at him sitting at home watching the kid. He jealous of Usher. Usher probably already fucked Kiki. Why the fuck come on now.
I mean, but we're also talking about an international superstar who the average person would never get that close enough to do those things, let alone be recognized by said international superstar to be in said clip.
Yes.
Right? You have to reach a certain echelon to even be in this conversation, which you are not. So play your role. It's kind of how I see it. This woman's going to do what she does, right? She is the reason why this is news, right? Not Usher's residency in Vegas. That's been happening, right? He's been doing this and doing this and doing it well, right? It just so happens that this person jumps on here and this person has a problem with it. Listen, if you had a problem with it, then why weren't you there with her?
Let me ask. Let me define Queen Mother one more time so this doesn't get lost in the sauce. Queen Mother are the black women that hold all the power in the home, in the community. They're the chief decision makers. They're the chief authority in the family. Queen Mother is the black woman that is the head of the house. Also, from a behavior standpoint, what does she look like? What does she look like behaviorally? She can have any combination of these traits. She's mean, unkind, nasty, irrational, poor decision making, not willing to accept new information, lacks accountability, unhealthy, emotionally and physically, or both. She's irresponsible. She's selfish. And the most prominent behavior is uncompromising. Also, Queen Mother cannot be challenged. She cannot be questioned. She cannot be defied. As I stated just a second ago, this dynamic is so strong that even those of us that are negatively impacted by Queen Mother's the Queen Mother syndrome, we will defend her right to be infected by this syndrome. We even developed a whole catchphrase around it. Mom did the best she could.
Wow.
Even if the outcomes had produced a poor result, Mom did the best she could. We defend the Queen Mother syndrome. And guess what? Tomorrow, Dr. Umar, we're going to talk about you saying that all black men, the productive black men, that we are responsible for all of the fatherless children that Queen Mother produced. Queen Mother's authority shall never be broached. Everyone is programmed to defend Queen Mother, whether we know it or not. We are programmed to defend Queen Mother. even if you can systematically outline how her decisions can negatively impact the family, the children, Queen Mother will get pissed, unleash her fury, and oh my God, to challenge or go against Queen Mother could land you excommunicated from the family. Because she's the head of the family. Fact. So she can absolutely excommunicate you from that family. Black women are the head of the Black family. They determine who's a part of the family. If you want to see a good example of this, of Queen Mother at her finest, check out Monet Tejada from the Star series Power Book of Two Ghost. I'm going to play you a clip of Monet Tejada.
That money, Diana.
And I ain't tell you to do that.
You acting real fucking reckless around here. You don't know who you fucking with, little girl.
I got your husband out of jail and I'm fucking with you.
Fuck up.
What, is there some reason you don't want Poppy home?
Get the fuck out of my house before I kill you in here.
Queen Mother, when she's challenged, go for the throat, get the fuck out of my house, I'll kill you. That might be extreme, but please tell me on what planet have we not ran across a whole slew of Queen Mothers with that attitude? What do you mean? What do you mean to challenge me? Get out. And if you continue to challenge me, I'll kill you. So not literally. I don't believe literally. I mean, this is a movie, so they should meant it literally. But for us, killing us is the excommunication from the family.
Sure.
At various times in this series, Monet Tejada exiled one or more of her kids from the family because they challenged or defied her. Not only did she do that, but she also had the father of her children killed. This behavior, not to challenge or offend mom, is even preached from the pulpits of nearly every Black church. The only thing more important in Black community other than mom is Jesus. And you know how Black people feel about Jesus. And even though the Bible talks about, speaking of the Bible, talks about the natural order of things, God, man, woman, child, man answers to God, woman answers to man, the children answers to the mother, and we all report up.
Sure.
But Queen Mother is opposite of that. Queen Mother is in direct opposition to that. I want you to, and I'm looking for something real quick. So I want to, where did I, oh, don't tell me I deleted this. Hold on a second. No, I wanted to, hold on, let me see if this
Many
is
of these organizations.
Oh, here's I want to play something real quick from Anton Daniels, a guy named Anton Daniels, talking about the submission of Black women, of Queen Mother, or what's supposed to happen. Hold on a second.
It's 5 versicle 21 to 30.
Look it up real quick so you can
cool.
have
So
your argument.
the thing that I tell people on a regular basis is that you need to read what happens before and after so that you can add the context.
Thank you.
And what he talks about is specifically, he breaks down what submission looks like, but then he specifically tells the wife to submit to the husband. I'm going to read it for you. Giving thanks always for all things unto God the Father in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. And 21, it says, submitting yourselves one to another in the fear of God, not submitting based off of to the will of a woman, in the fear of God. And then he goes on to say in 22, wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. And 23, for the husband is the head of the wife. And he specifically breaks down what in the fear of the Lord is supposed to look like when it comes to the family structure. For the husband is the head of the wife, even as Christ is the head of the church, and he is the savior of the body. Therefore, as the church is subject unto Christ, so let the wives be to their own husbands in everything. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ has also loved the church and gave himself for it. That's what the protection and provision looks like. That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of the water by the word, meaning that you are to submit to your husband, understanding that he knows what's best for you and is going to create the oasis for you to be able to thrive, that he might present it unto himself, a glorious church, not having spot, wrinkle, or such thing, that may be holy and without blemish, without wrinkle or blemish, meaning you are to be perfect. And then I am responsible to you, which is one of the reasons why you need to submit to me. So ought men.
You hear that last part? I am responsible to you. Now, 80% of Black women claim to be some form of Christian. So please explain to me how a 50-50 partnership is anywhere near a Christian value for a woman. I'll wait. I know ain't nobody gonna put that in the chat. I know ain't nobody gonna explain it to me. So in Black families, first comes mom, queen mother, then there's everybody else. The current Black family structure is built and centered around queen mother's respect and authority and the attitude that the children belong to her only, and her say is last and final. And please, if you are an adult male in the family, do not try to develop any sense of manhood. Don't come walking into Queen Mother's house trying to sling your manhood around Queen Mother's house. What the hell wrong with you? That will not work in Queen Mother's house. It doesn't even matter if you're a 56-year-old man. When you walk into your mother's home, Queen Mother, or she's in your presence, even in your home, your job as a Black man in this culture is to fall in line behind Queen Mother's authority, even if she's inside your own home. Do not forget, Black men, when you are in the presence of Queen Mother, check your manhood at the door. Fuck wrong with you, slinging your manhood around Queen Mother. She's the chief decision maker, the chief authority in Black culture. So who are you to be slinging your manhood or what perceived? First of all, she thinks she gave you manhood. Queen Mother finds this disrespectful. Any talk about the natural order of things with Black women or Queen Mother, she finds it disrespectful. Any talk of, you are my mother's child, I don't want you slinging your raw coochie all out for everybody to see, because I don't want my son seeing you look that way down the line when he gets up and he can search your interweb. That is offensive to Queen Mother. Kiki Palmer is Queen Mother syndrome on full display. And boys, grow up under the authority of Queen Mother and become accustomed and groomed to bow to a woman's authority. Why do you think you got so many Black men? The majority of Black men are afraid to talk the way I talk to and about our women. Because for 50 years, we've had to bow. We've been taught, bred, groomed, developed, nurtured to bow to Queen Mother's authority, any Queen Mother. Why do you think our women are so eager to run up in one of our face? Because we will bow to Queen Mother. We're programmed that way. But then
all by design.
But then on the other hand, we got our women out here talking about we got a bunch of weak men out here. Of course we got a bunch of fucking weak men out here. They were bred that way. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This is unnatural. This unnatural dynamic of men in mass submitting to a woman's authority has made 2 generations of Black women who are not equipped to wrestle the direct. 2 generations of Black men who are not equipped to wrestle the direction of the current Black culture away from Queen Mother. We don't have enough men equipped to change this, because we are all been programmed and groomed to bow to Queen Mother. Black men have spent a lifetime being shamed into bending the knee. And I'm not talking about marriage. I'm talking about surrendering leadership to Queen Mother, who we are supposed to be responsible for. So, if Black women, our mothers, Queen Mother, have been the head, the leaders, the decision makers, then who the hell do we hold responsible for the current state of Black families and Black relationships? You know who we hold accountable? We hold the men that we've made bend the knee to Queen Mother. We hold them accountable for Queen Mother's decisions. As the leader and decision maker and chief authority for 50 years, we blame the men that she raised. That's what we do. If women hold all the power, if they're the protectors, the leaders, the decision makers, chief authority, where in the world does that leave men? I'm telling you, it resigns us to a secondary role. If Queen Mother is essentially the man, Black men, what the hell does that make us?
I think it only reiterates what we've always been. Protectors of what matters most to the future. And that is the carrier, the bringer of life. Right? I understand about the whitewashing that we've endured in North America that makes us believe that our positioning is offset, right? Like the only way that we can move forward is with the Queen Mother thinking. But we know that to be a fallacy. So really, it's about when are we going to recognize that usually, at least in my experience, when you approach a Queen Mother, it is always something that came from the male generation that she learned from and has a tendency to just reiterate those things, right? Like you said, your Queen Mother will tell you, oh, you're not being a man because men acted like this. Real men do this. Real women act like that. So when you have those things and you have that Queen Mother in place, yes, things are going to look a little different, but it's also shades of the way things used to be.
Mm-hmm. Let me play a clip and then we're going to get out of here. I'm going to play a clip of the most hated man in the last 3 years in this country, in the Black sphere. I'm going to play what he got to say. Hold on.
Always expected to step out in front, take the slings and arrows and the bullets, such and so forth, and all they want is a place to lay their head and hear you say, baby, I love you, it's going to be all right, I got you. But Black men, when they deal with Black women, can't even get a moment of peace. Matter of fact, Black women are so proud of this shit, Monique made a comedy bit about it. Yeah, it's crazy. He said Becky will have an argument with her man at night, but in the morning she'll be like, hey, buddy, love you. Here's your eggs and such and so forth. Give him a little blowjob because she know he got to get out there and compete. No, but a Black woman will wake her ass up early in the morning, takes 3 shots of Red Bull, 2 cups of coffee to talk to you all the way until you get in your car, call you on the way there, and be bothering you while you're in your office. Fuck with you.
Little white couple have an argument in the morning time. She gonna cut that short because she don't want to fuck with him. He got to go make that paper. She's gonna say, hey, all that I said, sorry. And I love you. Have a wonderful day at work.
Thank you.
Now call you. It's wonderful.
What's so funny about that?
Not our black ass. We don't give a fuck about having no argument in the morning time. You gotta go make that motherfucking paper. We gonna say our shit. Then your black ass try to walk out the door.
Oh my God.
And it can't get a bit
Black
of
women-
cooperation, submission. Just an act right. Other people see this. Other groups of women see this. Do you think other groups of women look at how black women act and envy you? Who else is trying to act like black women?
I wish.
Maybe not
No
look,
one.
act. The average white man in this country makes $50,000. But he gets respect from his women. Two-parent nuclear household. The average black man in this country makes $40,000. Are you saying that the average black man is $10,000 away from white female cooperation?
Whew.
If so, brothers will go out and go get a part-time job to get that $10,000 to get that cooperation. So it ain't about resources and money. Knock that shit off. What is it ultimately about? It's ultimately about, do you like us? Do you like us?
Why do
And
black
you can
women-
tell that
why do
most
black women have to
women don't
compete
like
with
black
black
men
men
because
all
look
the
at where black boys are at the bottom. Ebony, your son may be doing well, but where are black boys? On what grade level are they reading? And what grade do they drop out of school? What do the prospects look like for black boys? Try to put forth an initiative for black
not
boys.
good.
And My Brother's Keeper initiative. Who destroyed the My Brother's Keeper initiative? It wasn't the Tea Party. It wasn't the Klan. It's black women. They wanted equal stuff for black boys. Wanted equal stuff for black girls. Black women have plenty of stuff. Can't have for black boys. You better start taking care of your boys because your boys ain't stupid. They grow up to be like your son and say, you know what? Y'all don't like us. Y'all don't like us. I can tell you don't like us. I can tell you don't like us when I go outside how you talk to me. When you wait on me at McDonald's. When you wait on me at Chick-fil-A. When I'm standing in line with you. When I say hi to you. I know y'all. Black men are always.
That was
the
interesting.
most dangerous thing that came out of that dreadful disease called Queen Mother Syndrome is the manifestation that our women just don't like us. Mr. Elemental, hold on a second. I'm going to wrap this up, okay?
Sure.
Because this is, yeah. All right, everybody, listen. And just bear with me. Having conversations with black women regarding the issues with black folk sometimes tend to bear very little fruit, if any. Almost all those conversations turn into conversations that are directly about them personally from an individual standpoint. From that, you can draw the conclusion that black women are just selfish. And the lack of ability or skill set to see life outside of themselves. Black women are the leaders of the black experience in this country today. But one of the most important traits you need as a leader is the ability to consider the needs of others. Ever since black women have been in charge, our women only consider things that affect them directly. Black issues are very complex and they have multiple moving parts. And the most effective way to approach our issues is from a macro or generalized angle. But too many of these hateful creatures won't come to the conversation in good faith. Listen, I believe in my heart of hearts, black men have the most remarkable women on the planet, and I think black women have an even more an extraordinary man. Being selfish is the nature of women, and there's degrees of selfishness. Women are raised to be selfish. Women are raised to for the world to revolve around them. The world is comfortable. The country is comfortable without war, without famine, without broken infrastructure for the most part, all for your comfort. We love women. Most black men I know love black women. And in this spaces where we're talking about this, you ladies need to understand something. Men in general don't do a whole lot of talking or emoting their emotions or something like that. In the last 3 years, you've had brother after brother, from Kevin Samuels to El Guapo to, you know, anybody that will listen, Tyrese more recently. Black men are starting to scream at you now. We want you, but we want you in a fair way. And our women have basically said to us, go fuck yourself in your fair way. Speaking of good faith conversations, in any relationship, no matter how strained or fractured the relationship is, if both parties want that relationship to work, no matter how big the gap is, both parties need to come in good faith. The moment one party is no longer operating in good faith, there is no hope for reconciliation. I believe that Black men, and sometimes in not the most artful way, are coming in good faith. Most of these conversations are happening from the men's side in good faith. We are offering something. We're offering solutions. We're opening up. We are opening ourselves to be criticized and ridiculed. Black men have, our egos and our pride have been stomped on throughout the centuries. And we today are laying our pride down on the line again by publicly saying to our women, we want you, but we want a fair deal. And the question is, are our women coming back with this gap in good faith? So let's talk. When you have these types of conversation, you need to have them. Sometimes you need to have them. Hold on a second. I gotta pay some respect real quick.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
All right, Mr. Kuhn Lee with the $2 super chat. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you. Been here the whole time. Thank you. A female told me her meanness means strength. Whoa, I'll be damned. What am I supposed to say with that? What am I going to do with that? Her meanness mean. Get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry she told you that, bro. That's a whole lot of crazy to me. Okay. We need to have these conversations, I think, from a generalized perspective, because when we make them personal, it's hard for us to move things forward. A generalized perspective should encourage, when you have a generalized conversation should encourage flexibility and adaptability, and also allow you to respond to changing circumstances and emerging challenges. A generalized perspective helps you recognize the need for ongoing learning. Overall, a generalized perspective provides a more comprehensive and nuanced understanding of the macro issue. And there's nothing more nuanced than the issues that plague Black relationships today. It enables you to consider diverse viewpoints. We're talking about a generalized perspective. It enables you to consider diverse viewpoints, identify patterns, address systemic factors, and it develops sustainable solutions that can lead to positive and lasting change. But our women sometimes do not come to these conversations in good faith. So how can we develop a sustainable solution when one of the parties is not coming in good faith? And how can you approach our issues in a generalized way when all our women want to focus on the issues is their own personal experience? We will never fix it that way. There are men in this space that got very large platforms, and I've never called any of them out. But Obsidian, man, fuck you. Obsidian, go fuck yourself. And if anybody in the chat or listen later is a fan of him, I'm not gonna knock you for that. I don't trash people. You support who you support. You can tell them the small YouTuber told them go fuck yourself. And the reason why I say that, Obsidian, is last week on one of your programs, I saw your clip, and you were proud to sit up and talk about how you like to use Black women to earn your money. Fuck you. You sit up here and talk about male excellence, and you talk about that you rah for the system for Black excellence, but you're out of your fucking mouth. You talking about I use Black women. Black men and Black women have been used enough. And we got men with large platforms, big voices out here bragging about how the fuck they, and this brother is the one who led the charge for that racist ass Pearl Davis, just pearly things, gave her safe harbor for her ignorant racist shit. And now you got egg on your face because she came out to be even more stupider than we thought she was. Every brother don't have to agree. Every brother don't have to like each other. Every brother don't have to agree with the perspective. And I do not agree with Obsidian's perspective on using Black women. I don't believe that. I believe in challenging our women's behaviors. I believe in challenging the way they think. I believe in challenging their outcomes. And anybody who's listening to this platform understands one important thing. I got all the smoke in the world for our ladies. But I attack the issue. I don't attack the woman. There's a difference. It's okay for brothers not to agree. It's okay for brothers not to like each other. It's okay for somebody to like me and like Obsidian. That is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong because because you may like things over here on the Real Bravado Network and you might like Obsidian. I currently, the way Obsidian is set up, I am not a fan. And I tried. And Obsidian is one of the godfathers of it. And maybe he said that in an inartful way. Or maybe he, was meaning something. Trust and believe. I stick my foot in my mouth on a regular basis. If I don't stick my foot in my mouth at least 3 times a day, I'm not doing something right. So, oh, boy. When it comes to controversial topics, we as people tend to personalize things. When addressing an issue, why is there so much pushback to looking at these issues from a generalized perspective? Of course, no issue is everything or everyone or all. There are exceptions to the rule. An exception to the rule is a situation or a case that goes against the unusual or expected pattern or standard. It is an instance where something deviates from what we consider to be norm. That's the exception. Meaning the exception is something, an exception to the rule is something that is rare. Let me define rare for y'all right now, especially those of you on the short bus. I've been on the short bus a time or two. When something is rare, it means that it's not common or frequent. It's characterized by being unusual, uncommon, or infrequent. In general, rarity is often associated with value or uniqueness, as items that are rare can be more highly prioritized and sought after due to their scarcity. Black single mothers are not rare. They are everywhere. They are 75% of the Black experience. If you are not rare, then how are you a prize? How However, what is rare is the average Black man. Black women treat Black men as if we're just ordinary, or as if we are inconsequential, or we have inconsequential value, even though the things that Black men do for our Black women are rare. So you're asking, what are the things that our Black men do that are rare? Our Black men become stepfathers at an unprecedented rate. No other group of men come in and be stepfathers at the rate that Black men do. And just when I say stepfathers, not necessarily even from a marital standpoint, Black men will get into long-term relationships with women and provide for another man's responsibility. And for his efforts, our women tell them, y'all know what they tell them, and it's not thank you. They have an expectation that they should be grateful because they are a package deal. Our women treat our extraordinary men as less than ordinary. You are not doing a man a favor by allowing him to take care of another man's responsibilities. You are not doing him a favor. He's doing you the favor. And it's effed up that our women don't know that. No other group of men en masse do things for their leftover women. Other cultures call single mothers leftover women. No other group of men do what Black men do at the rate we do. And we do it because we were all raised with single mothers and we got a degree of empathy or sympathy for our women. We understand it. We understand it because we were raised in it. But you treat it as it's nothing, but that behavior is extraordinary. And even with Black women arguably having the best men, Black women reject suitable Black men and families with these men at an alarming rate, calling them Dusties. Kiki Palmer's boyfriend was called Dusty. Kiki Palmer, because this brother had a problem with her dry humping another man half naked. All of a sudden, the happiest she's ever been is no longer happy because he got a problem with her dry humping somebody else. Listen, in conclusion, listen. Despite the relentless landscape and misperception that even Oprah had to finally come out and acknowledge, Black men continue to thrive, to stand tall, and to forge on. The essence of the Black man's resilience is not the absence of ambition, but the ability to transform that hardship into fuel for growth, into a burning desire to overcome. We stand on the shoulders of giants and great men in this day and age. We're talking about guys like Malcolm, Ali, Mandela, Fred Hampton. I mean, keep going. Medgar Evers, keep going. Marcus Garvey, keep going. Who battled real injustices in this country and social biases? We are not defined by our limitations or stereotypes. Our value is not diminished by external opinions or shallow parameters that maybe sometimes our women use to gauge our worth. We are more than just a caricature drawn of us. We are fathers. We are sons. We are brothers. We are husbands. We are friends. We are CEOs. We are janitors. We are doctors. We are teachers. We are artists. And yes, Ebony K. Williams, we are even bus drivers. The majority of Black men are productive, character-driven men. Let me say that slowly. The majority of Black men are productive, character-driven men. Men of integrity, men of accountability, men of concern, men of protection. We cook meals and clean your cars, yes, and we are attempting to rebuild families and our communities. We are the shoulders upon the next generation of Black men will stand, and we desire a more cooperative Black woman, which might be something or a concept that have died out with the last generation of Black women. But we remain hopeful. But we cannot deny the pain of being overlooked, the pain of undervalued, and being marginalized by our own women. It can be a challenge to recognize our worth when the people closest to us, even our own women, sometimes fail to acknowledge our efforts. In those moments, we must remember that it is not the applause that defines the productive, character-driven Black men, but the grace, the power, and the skill which we deliver. To our Black women, we say this: our lives, our struggles, our triumphs are all intertwined. We strive not for validation, but for understanding, for empathy, and for respect. When we show up, when we perform these ordinary tasks with extraordinary outcomes, it's just not for us as men, it's for you. It's for our family, our community. Acknowledge us, not just for what we provide materially, but for who we are at our core. And to my fellow Black men, remember that while our journey may be fraught with challenges, we are not in it alone. We are part of a mighty tribe, a collection of men making our way through this life. So let's encourage each other, even if we disagree with one another. Hold each other up. Hold each other accountable, Obsidian. And most importantly, recognize each other's worth. The beauty of a Black man's existence is not just his ability to conquer, but his capacity to endure. The resiliency to rise every time we fall, to smile when we are hurting, to give when we have little left to give. We have been gifted the ability to carry burdens and stand tall that no other man can do. Our journey is not a solitary one. Black men have a shared experience. Our joys and pains are shared. Our victories and losses with each other are shared. We might not even know each other, but our experiences are shared. We are a community. We are a brotherhood, a testament of survival against all odds. Being a Black man in this world seems like a lonely existence at times, but it's one filled with a profound sense of purpose and undeniable strength. We navigate through a world that often takes more than it gives, yet we emerge as men of valor, of character, of dignity, and through our contributions. And though our contributions may get ignored from time to time, the impact we make remains undeniable. For every overlooked act of kindness, for every unappreciated effort, know that Black men, we matter. We are seen, we are valued, and most importantly, we will never be denied. So, Joe Madison, Sirius XM, I listen to him regularly. At the end of every conversation, he goes, hey, now that we didn't talked about it, what are we going to do about it? Black men, we have a hell of a journey ahead of us still. And that journey makes us extraordinary.
I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king and I will never knew. Plotting for my fall, you getting hanged for treason. I don't aim to please, do anything I feel. Haters gonna talk, don't listen to the shit. They tryna be like me, they know they can do. Can't even get lost, I'm on a pedestal, sitting on my throne. My neck be decked in gold, I don't do no hoes, I've got a queen though. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king, I told you guys before, ready for the war, to get me way much more. Gather all these parts, add them to my kingdom. Shout out to my fans for pledging your allegiance. You get a reward, the best flow you've ever heard. I don't be mixing with birds, I'm a lion on the surge. Always pushing to the edge, facing arrows, never scared. For my greatness I'm a servant, only under myself. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in. I'm a king cause I do what I want and what I need. I don't need you to nobody, I'm busy doing my thing. Mess with me and you could get forgotten, just let it sing. I don't play, I just win every day, I get it in.
Mr. Element, are you there? Elemental, are you there? Mr. Elemental, you there? Oh, he must be gone.